Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be building Tamiya's Beaufighter Mark 10. This is a kit which has been released in lots of different versions and it dates from the late 1990s, but it's still a high quality kit and it's a really fun build. You can see from the box art here that this is the torpedo carrying variant, but there are also options in the box to equip it with bombs and with rockets as well. So straight into the build, and the interior is basically one large floor piece with most of the detail moulded on already. There are just a few extra levers and the seats to add in. One seat here for the pilot at the front. And then of course the Beaufighter has a crew of 2, so there's another seat at the back for the gunner. Of course, as with most aircraft kits, even though there's detail here in the interior, most of it won't be seen once the fuselage is closed up. And once that was constructed, it was painted in RAF interior green and then a few details picked out in black. And you can see with the test fit that the two sides go together very nicely. But before I closed the fuselage, I added quite a lot of AK streaking grime. Maybe a little bit too much, but most of it can't be seen anyway, so it's not a big problem. And you can see that there's only minor filling and sanding required on that joint. So fairly early into the build you have to decide which version you're going to build, because although they're both Mark 10s, you can see here there's a distinctive difference in the tails between the marking options. And there's also, as you can see here, a difference in the nose as well. The instructions tells you not to glue this particular piece in place so that it's still movable. I couldn't quite work out what it was at first, but I think it's basically a access hatch, supposed to be an access ladder into the fuselage. However, I just glued it shut because once the torpedo is in place, it can open anyway. There was a small amount of filling to be done, and to achieve that I used Vallejo plastic putty. You can basically smear this all over the place, leave it for a few minutes and then wipe it away with some water. There are a couple of places where you need to read the instructions carefully because Tamiya points out parts that are no longer used, such as here D5 and D3. And equally, although it is mentioned in the instructions, it's not super clear. I started to build up these rockets, but in fact if you have the torpedo on the aircraft then the rockets generally are not used as well. It's either one or the other. Although having said that, you still do place the mounting points for the rockets there. I tried to give the completed kit a coat of black paint, but I completely ran out, so it ended up being quite a patchy job, but it should provide some variation in colour. The kit does supply decals for the D-Day invasion stripes, but I decided to paint them myself. So I gave the overall kit a coat of German grey, XF63, to be the extra dark sea grey, and then I masked the D-Day stripes on top. Masking the stripes is really easy to do, and they look a lot better than trying to get decals to conform to the shape of the aircraft, especially around the fuselage. And then the remaining decals, even though they're quite large, went down nice and easily, especially with a coat of Mark fit. I did notice that the fit of the engine cowling was quite tight, and I had to sand the inside of it to make it fit properly. The landing gear fit in very nicely once you get them aligned with the appropriate grooves, and so I didn't even glue them in position because the fit was so tight. I did consider putting the two figures in place, but actually I realised that they obscure quite a lot of the detail, and also the figures for the pilot and the gunner are identical, so it doesn't quite look as good as it could. I don't like a huge amount of weathering on aircraft kits, so I use the Tamiya black panel liner, and then I cleaned that up with a little bit of enamel thinners on a cotton bud once it was mostly dry. And with that, the kit was complete. So during this lockdown period, I've been building quite a few kits, and I've actually been building more than I've been uploading. So before I show you the completed Beaufighter, let's have a quick preview of some upcoming videos. If you've seen the community tab on my channel, you will have seen photos of quite a few of these builds already. Okay, I'm back to the finished Beaufighter kit. Well guys, thank you for watching this shorter than normal video. I hope you enjoyed the build of this aircraft. I know there's a lot more I can do to aircraft kits in terms of weathering and damage and dirt and so on, but I generally like this fairly clean appearance myself. Please do feel free to leave your thoughts on weathering versus lack of weathering on aircraft in the comments below. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.